I'm Anne-Marie.
Hi, and I'm Sonia.
We are here to guide you on your transformative journey where you will unlock the secrets to radiant living, conquer stress, and ignite your confidence and purpose.
Each episode is an invitation to redeem your essence, integrating ancient tradition and modern science.
Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to our new episode of our Infinite Incense. Today, we are going to do in the different format. So we're speaking about Anne-Marie work. So I'll be making some questions to her so we can understand not just a work, but also a vision about this subject. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, Anne.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Today I'm just in the background, so it'll be easier for me. We are really willing to know about your truth and your vision about this subject that sometimes it's not open spoken, I must say. So you talk about how women have stopped trusting their bodies to do what they're naturally meant to do, like having babies, and instead rely on just medical help like IVF. And what do you think this is happening?
Well, I know we've decided to do this special episode because of one of the articles I'm writing right now. And the truth is, I stopped time to write that article after I spoke with a woman over a few days ago. And it's like the fifth woman I've talked with over the past days that with only 30 years old has been oriented to IVF. So I understand that, if you talk to just one woman, maybe it's a specific story that she has. But when you multiply and multiply the number of women you speak to and you understand that very, very quickly she has been medically orientated to get invasive treatment for fertility, you understand that maybe it's not just an exception and it's something that's happening to many women. And over 5 years ago, when I started my practice, women would come to me for the exact same thing, but they would be 40, 42, 43. Now what's happening is that women just over 30, 31 are very quickly directed to IVF.
And do you want to share why you think the causing this?
I think that more and more we women are trusting the medical body more than we are trusting ourselves. So it's like we are losing this inner knowing that we are, as women, we know better about our minds, our bodies, our fertility than somebody else. So I think that there has been over the years an over reliance that somebody external to me knows better than I know. I don't know why, but this is happening and I'm seeing it more and more and more. It makes me wonder how we can make known this message so that women also stop time and start questioning everything. Something that I've told women over and over again is to start questioning everything. Start questioning what the doctor says, start questioning what the clinic says, start questioning what other people are telling you, start questioning what you see on television or on the news or things you see on the internet. And to be fair, we should even question our own thoughts.
Totally resonate with you, not just in regarding woman fertility, but in all areas. And how can women reconnect with their bodies and trust them again and go back to this truth?
It's something that can be done, and at the same time is challenging because everything around us doesn't really help for that. So let's say that when I go online and look for forums or discussions around fertility, I understand and I see with how women write and the way they express themselves that there is this very big reliance on what the doctor says. So we are not used anymore to question that person who's also a human being just like we are. And one way to do that would be first to really stop time and start understanding that whatever we are told is based on metrics, percentages in which we are not. So if I start looking at what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, what I'm reading, and I start thinking, okay, that's, the basis of this study, of this analysis, but I'm not in that analysis. I'm not in those numbers. I'm not in those metrics. Maybe I can understand that I'm able to do different. So I would say it's like when you're in the crowd, you don't understand what's happening around you. But when you decide to get out of the crowd and observe that crowd from a distance, then you start understanding what's happening. So I would say try to take a distance from what you are being told, what you're going through, even the diagnosis that has been given to you or to your husband, and start observing it from a distance and understand that you can always decide something different than what is presented to you. And I think that today, around fertility, it is so rushed because it hurts so much that we don't even take the time to question. We are so rushed into taking a decision, and we hear many things around the biological clock that, in over 2 years, you won't be able to have children. And now I'm hearing this from women 30 years old. The other day I was talking to a 32-year-old woman, and she said to me that on her documents when she was pregnant, it was written geriatric pregnancy at 32 years old. I was really amazed at how, and I'm going to be ironic, how we are helping women trust their body and trust their fertility using this kind of words. Yeah, I really was amazed that day that she shared that with me.
Yeah, it's crazy. And in a way, if we need to go back again to this reconnection with our body, with nature, we still need medicine. So in the middle, there's the balance, finding the balance between medicine and nature. As you say, it's so important to balance this modern medicine with the natural strength of the female body. So how can women feel good about exploring both options without being pushed into just one side, one choice? And how can people around them, like doctors, like family, help them to feel supported in this process?
So I think there's two sides to this question, and you're right when you said that we are very lucky to have this advance in technology, in medicine, and obviously I am myself very, very grateful to doctors because they help me have my kids. So there is no question about the fact that we have to be very grateful to what's possible today that wasn't a few years ago. Now, there is what we need to see as an urgency and something that we wouldn't have maybe another option because there's a risk of life or something. But on the other hand, when a woman, and this is the example I started with, when a woman is 30 years old and she's going through unexplained infertility, which means that there is no reason why she's not getting pregnant, because on all her analysis and documents, there is no clear explanation as to why she's not getting pregnant or holding the pregnancy. In those cases, I think we shouldn't rush so much the process. We should have ways to help women understand, okay, what have you changed in your life? Have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you tried this natural way of trying to get pregnant? Have you done some therapy? Have you looked at, maybe some trauma that the person has been through? I think we should orientate the person to look at other ways, and okay, if later on it still doesn't work, then let's go to IVF. It's here for that. But it shouldn't be the first option. It shouldn't be the only option that is given to women. And I even sometimes go online and you see people talking about all these different treatments. And they usually say, go straight to IVF because it's so expensive that if you try all these other things before, maybe you won't have the money to go out to IVF afterwards. So even inside of the community, there's a rush to go to IVF as the unique option that might work. And this is what I want to question, It's not the only option. I've seen many women change lifestyle, change the way they eat, change the way they think, work on their trauma, work on their fears, and get pregnant. So there is many ways. And I don't say mine is the best. I say mine is good because I have results. But there is so many other ways, and you included with what you do, Sonia. It's a change of lifestyle. It's a change of how we think. It's a different way of managing stress. There is so many things you can look at, and even, some people work to help women through changing nutrition and looking at supplementation and all of that. There is so much to be done instead of going to those invasive treatments, because it's a difficult process. Women going through IVF, usually they are very happy when it works. Obviously, it's amazing. And at the same time, many women come to me after failed IVF, and you not only have the overwhelm of emotion, but the body as well is hugely overwhelmed by the whole treatment. So we need to look at this with all these different perspectives.
Yeah, we are not metrics, right? Each person tells a different story, and words and stories can really affect fertility and everything in our life. Like the words you brought up through a story you told about geriatric pregnancy, and I'm sure it looks like a little bit scary, and about not feeling confident for the other woman when they decide to have kids later in life, and how these levels can affect the woman who see the stories, and what are better, what is more positive ways, to talk about age, fertility, and motherhood. What do you think about it?
As I work with women from different countries, obviously, depending on the country you're based in, the name will be used maybe later on or earlier on. That woman that I spoke to, she showed me her documents, and there was showing geriatric pregnancy, and she was 32 years old in that case. And you don't see this kind of word used anywhere else. Like if you look at experienced people, I would say, later in life, you would never say they are geriatric. Like this word is not a nice word to use for women, for bringing life into the world. It's taking your power away. So saying that, depending on the process you go through, depending on the doctors you see, many women, so I'm going only to talk about what I am told, because it's not about just me giving my opinion. It's the most important is really to share with you what women say to me about their own journey. So they start the journey and they already feel they don't know nothing about their fertility, their period, how it works, why it doesn't work, why my sister, my friend gets pregnant like this and I do not. So when women enter this process, they have already lost a lot of self-belief with regards to themselves, their capability, their fertility, and why it's working for everyone else and it's not working for them. So when you go into the process and you start hearing things like, and again, this is what women usually tell me they've heard. We're in a rush because we don't have time. You're already old. You don't have much eggs left. You're in a very mature age, or even like this word, you get it printed on your documents and analysis geriatric pregnancy. How can you feel confident in yourself as a woman, in yourself as a future mother? I'm questioning, how are we helping women through this whole process of fertility? And obviously we see more and more numbers. Some countries have released numbers a few weeks ago with regards to fertility and the huge decline which is happening. I'm remembering now the UK have released numbers that are preoccupying with regards to fertility. So obviously we need to look at fertility a bit different than maybe a few years ago. We have to be more careful about the water we drink, the food we eat, the supplements that are not in the food that we eat today. We need to look at our bodies, our mind, all of this, because there is so much pollution. And I'm not talking just about the air we breathe. I'm talking about all kind of pollution, from what we see online to what we read, and to many people, depending on who's around you, because sometimes the closest people to you are the ones that are not so much encouraging. So there is so much pollution in that sense that it's very easy for you to lose even more confidence in yourself. And so the women that come to me, they are so low in energy. They are so low in self-belief. They are so low in confidence in themselves. And I think this is not a good thing for women. We should find a lot more positive, encouraging, and uplifting ways and words to help women through fertility, because for some reason we're all here thanks to that, right? So I think this is the thing we should all fight for and help, and because we are here because of that, because one woman was fertile and was able to have us. So I think we should give a lot more credit and help women in a more beautiful way than what has been done lately.
Perfect. And give more credit to ourselves and to the nature within, right? And of course, you were telling also about nutrition and other things, because I think like more and more things work for the best. I mean, when it's a multidisciplinary thing. So I would like you to speak about something about the stress and lifestyle role in this part in fertility. I know probably plays a big part in the fertility problem, right? It's like a common sense. They say like sometimes just, you will get pregnant once you relax. And the common sense that, right? It's not just you speaking, it's just the doctors who say that. But people don't talk about it enough. So what are some simple ways women can manage stress to help their fertility natural? And what lifestyle changes like nutrition, eating better, exercising, or just being aware of their surroundings can support all this process?
When you talk about the example of stress, and you see it all over the internet, whichever platform or a conversation you get into, women are fed up with this advice that, stop stressing or go on holiday and you'll get pregnant. And I understand that. I understand why it's not that easy and it's an advice that they don't want to hear. And at the same time, if we look at the body, everything starts in the mind, right? So if I'm stressing, my brain will give orders to my adrenals. And if my adrenals are working because I'm stressed, I'm worried, I'm anxious, and for my body, it's priority because it sees it as a danger, then my brain won't give my hormonal system the right message so it helps my fertility. So either it will help me deal with my stress and my anxiety, or it will help me with my hormones, which are the basis of me being fertile. So this is what we need to look at behind the, go on holiday and stop stressing or change jobs and you'll get pregnant. And at the same time, I hear everyday stories, and I'm remembering a networking event, which I went to a few weeks ago. And that guy asked me, what do you do, Anne? And I explained to him what I was doing. And he said to me, oh, okay, I understand. There's that friend of mine that wanted to get pregnant for 3 years. She didn't go pregnant. And suddenly she changed jobs. They moved places with her husband. And in 3 months, she got pregnant. So he said, I understand exactly what you mean when you say changing the way we think and also our environment. So it's like the inner environment and the outer environment can help us get pregnant. And that's the truth. We're all different. It won't work exactly the same way to each person, obviously. Some people, it will be quicker. Some other, it will take longer. But this is something that we can see every day happening. And when you talk about nutrition, so I'm not an expert in nutrition. The women I work with, I have an orientation from a fertility nutritionist I work with, and I gave them orientations around nutrition. But the thing is, when they come to me, they have usually already tried everything. So they've tried acupuncture, they've tried yoga, they've tried changing nutrition, they've tried supplements, they've tried psychotherapy or other kinds of talking therapy. And it's when these things they have tried haven't worked and there is still no explanation medically as to why they are not getting pregnant or holding the pregnancy, that they usually come to me. So just to tell you a bit more about the nutrition part. Some women just change nutrition and they don't even need to speak to me, right? They get pregnant. Some women will have tried many, many things and still won't be able to get pregnant. And that's usually when we open the door to something different. And you asked me for a tip, and I would say it's very easy to think nowadays that not sleeping well is normal because nobody around us sleeps well. So everybody has sleep problems. It's normal. Everybody is taking pills, supplements, stuff to be able to sleep. And we think it's normal because everybody doesn't sleep, right? Nobody's sleeping. But it's one of the main things that we should all look at. At what time do we go to bed? At what time do we get up? What do we eat before we go to bed? How's the bedroom organized? What do I watch before I go to sleep? There's a lot of things. Is there technology in my bedroom? There's many things we can look at in terms of helping ourselves sleep better. And for some, it might be the answer.
Yes. When we relax, we thrive. And each person is a story. And I'm sure there's also personal journey, which is different for each person, a different story. And fertility can be seen as a personal journey, right? It's not just having a baby. It's part of a big life journey. Um, and how can women see their struggles with fertility as a chance to grow stronger, to be kinder to themselves, to be more resilient? Do you have any story of women you found a new perspective and that helped them through all this?
Most of the women that come to me, they come to me to help them get pregnant. But in the middle of these women, some of them are so low in energy and in self-confidence that they ask me, and maybe I won't get pregnant. Let's try. But I want to have a life. I want to feel joy. I want to be able to do things with my husband. I don't want to be thinking all of the time and give all my energy to that. I've already lost. It's usually the word that they use, but then we reframe it. But I've lost all of these years just obsessing about that thing, and I've forgotten to live. I've forgotten who am I. So every time I start to work with somebody, I tell them I don't have a crystal ball. We don't have a crystal ball to know if it's going to happen or not. But what we want is that whatever happens, you're happy with yourself because you understand you've done everything you could. And this knowledge you gain from yourself, the way you were brought up, why you're going through these challenges right now, the way you start looking at yourself, talking to yourself, prioritizing yourself, respecting yourself more than you respect others is the main objective. So obviously, I'm here to help women through their fertility journey. And for me, fertility is wider than having babies because fertile is what a woman has been brought on earth for, whatever we're talking about, whatever creation we're talking about, which can be in all different kinds of disciplines and things we can create and develop and bring to the world from our wombs. But the thing is, whatever happens, I want these women to be able to live their life as happy as possible. I want them to forget about the sadness and the guilt. Obviously, we all have bad days, you can work on yourself and do so much self-development. You will have one day that you need to cry, one day that you want to stay by yourself, one day that you just want to talk to no one. This will happen to everybody. But most of the days, we need to have some joy. And this is what I want to help them with, whether the baby comes or not.
Thank you. I think there's so much to say about that, but I think we'll leave for another time, another talk. But I would like for as last question or as last thought, if you could share a story, a successful story to build hope, especially in the times we are living. And particularly speaking about this inner journey, knowing that a successful story will not mean necessary that a woman or a couple had a baby. Sometimes a personal story or a successful story can be anything, right? Not just necessary having the baby, like making and conquer the goal, relating what we spoke about in the journey. Do you want to share anything to build hope?
As you were asking that question, an example came straight away to mind. And it won't be the example maybe you're waiting for, but I would say if there is one woman that motivated me to do my work today and focus a lot more on fertility, it's this woman. She came to me around 60 years old, so apparently nothing to do with fertility. She had physical issues, pain, and everything. And what we found out through our work together is that everything had begun when she went through unexplained infertility 20 years before. She didn't deal with her feelings. She didn't deal with the sadness. She didn't deal with the guilt. She didn't deal with all of this turmoil of emotions that she went through during maybe 5 to 8 years while trying to get pregnant. And she managed to put all of it on the side. But the day she lost her husband, everything came to the surface. And her body started to cry and shout in all possible ways for her to look at what she hadn't looked at in the past. And I'm amazed about the fact that every time a woman come to me, and apparently nothing has to do with fertility. Maybe she's coming to me just because she's going through burnout or overwhelm or a physical pain like this women. When we start talking together, I understand that something happened with regards to having babies, not having babies, going through some fertility challenges. This first woman coming back to her, she showed me how it's so important that we deal with these emotions so that we prevent all of this to happen later in life, because the body will speak later or sooner. We'll have to deal with all of these emotions. And she really showed me if she had managed all of these emotions at that time, she wouldn't be going through what she was going through at 60 years old. So I guess my intention is to speak as much as I can about this topic, tell women all of these examples and stories, and obviously that might not be yours, but I hope something will resonate with you. But to show women how important it is to question everything, trust your body, and deal with all these emotions, whether it's with somebody you know close, whether it's with a therapist, whatever the way you find that works for you, but don't put them on the side, because you'll have to deal with them sooner or later. So I guess that's my main message here. And I thank this woman. I've thanked her directly many times. She really inspired me to look at fertility with different eyes than I was doing before.
That was beautiful. Really a story to build hope. And at the end, what is important is we are here to experience life, in the present moment, and our body storage everything whenever we don't allow ourselves to live the experience as it is in the present moment. Thank you so much. And I think it was brilliant to know about your successful stories. I hope this message brings serious hope for a lot of other people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonia, for the opportunity.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll see each other soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
And share with those you feel it may benefit from what we have to offer.